The idea that saving is a scam is one of the biggest lies that has been taught to our generation, and sadly, we have bought into this lie. And majority of us always say it's rather to just invest your money into the stock market and not save money. And we always pin saving versus investing as if it's a competition between the two things. And I always hate that conversation. But today I want us to have a genuine conversation around the concept of saving money and a concept of investing money, and why I believe we have been sold lies around the idea that if you save money, you are wasting your time. You should invest your money. So today on the Student Investor Podcast with Ivan Sambo, we are having a genuine conversation about investing versus saving and why I believe we should do both, and how can you best save your money to secure the dreams that you have for yourself, as well as we're throwing around a little bit of tips on how you can invest a little bit better for yourself in order to acquire the wealth that you want for yourself. But when this thing anytime, guys, let's get into today's episode. Welcome to the Student Investor Podcast with Ivan Sambo, the podcast that focuses on starting a conversation about money, investing, growing your career, and being a young person in South Africa. Our goal is to simplify the conversation so that we can all learn and grow as young people in South Africa. Hello, future millionaires and billionaires. Welcome to the episode of the Student Investor Podcast with Ivan Sambo. First of all, my apology for not uploading last week. I was traveling from Cape Town not from Cape Town, I was traveling from Nelspruit to Cape Town, and I had to settle into Cape Town, fix everything around my accommodation and all of that. So it took me a little bit longer than expected, so I wasn't able to record an episode last week. I hope I'm forgiven. And on today's episode of the Student Investor Podcast with Ivan Sambo, we are talking about saving versus investing, why I believe we all should do both, and how can you best save your money within the context of South Africa. Also, guys, I appreciate your feedback. Please do ensure you keep on giving this podcast those 5 stars. You keep on sharing with a friend as well, guys. You keep on giving me those beautiful reviews and give me your honest feedback. What do you think about the podcast? Where can we improve? Where can we change? And what can we do to ensure we improve and become better, guys? So let's set the scene for today's episode, right? And it is inspired by a tweet, actually. I was scrolling on my feed on Twitter and I came across a tweet which was a conversation between 2 people that I follow. And one of those people I follow was saying saving is not the ideal thing to do with your money in this market. And I'm continuing reading that the conversation between those 2 individuals on Twitter, and the other ones ask, why must I not save money in this market? And it's saying, and the other person replies and says, a lot of companies are down and now is a good opportunity for you to buy them at a discount. And in my mind, I'm like, I get what you're saying, but also in this market where majority of stocks, majority of companies are down because of the inflation, because of global instability, the Russia-Ukraine war, oil price, it's also better to have cash. It's very wise to have cash around. So why would you say to someone it's stupid to save your money and have cash? See, investing is good, yes, but saving is also good. Why can't someone do both? And I realize the majority of people, especially with our generation, we have been sold this idea that saving will not take you anywhere, because when you save your money, it doesn't grow. But what exactly is saving? Because if you say that, I think we're missing the main point of what exactly is saving. So let's define saving. Saving can be defined and simplified as securing your money for a short-term goal that you have. Now, let's define investing. It's putting your money aside with taking on risk with the aim of acquiring more wealth with that specific money. I think with those simplified definition, there are 2 things that stand out. With saving, the key thing that stands out is that you're securing your money. With investing, the thing that stands out is that you're taking on risk to acquire more money. So I think by now you can understand the difference between saving and investing. When you're saving your money, you are securing what you already have because you have a short-term goal that you want to achieve with a specific amount of money. Let me make another example. Ivan in 2023, December, wants to go to Mozambique for a trip. And you have specific amount of money every single month that you want to put aside for that specific trip to Mozambique. So I'm putting aside 5,000 Rand every month. I'm securing it in a savings account so I know I'm guaranteed to have this money in December of 2023. So I am securing my money that I already have. And when you're investing, I know I want to invest for long term. I'm taking the money that I have, I'm putting in the stock market so that in the long term it can acquire more money and grow and take on risk so that it can grow and I can have more money at the end of the specific investment goal I have. While for saving, I'm securing the money I already have for a specific short-term goal that I will need to achieve in a specific date. So I don't want my money to grow, but I want my money to be secure so I can use it at a later stage. So now we understand the difference between saving and investing. And as a young student investor, you need to understand that you can do both. You can save your money so that you can be able to use it in whatever short-term goal you have, because you can't invest your money for short-term goal. The reason for that is because, number one, the market goes up and down every single day. Let's say as a student investor, you want to save money to buy an iPhone 14 in June, right? Cool. Now the iPhone 14 costs 15,000, and for the next 4 months you will be putting aside a specific amount of money so you can buy that iPhone 14 in July. But you put the money and you invest that money in the stock market. You don't save it, you invest in the stock market. Come July, the market crash goes down. Now the money you've put in the stock market is down. You can no longer afford to buy your iPhone 14 because you took on risk. And in July, with a short term, in July the market crashed and went down. That means you don't have your money. But with saving, if the market goes down, your money is still there. The specific amount you put in is still there. Meaning in July, you can be able to achieve your goal of buying an iPhone 14 and have that 15,000 Rand to buy an iPhone 14. I know an iPhone 14 is not 15,000. It's just an example, guys. So you need to be able to understand that investing, guys, is long term for creating wealth. Saving is short term for securing the wealth you already have, so that you can achieve a specific goal that is short term in nature. If your goal is long term in nature, it makes more perfect sense to put your money in an investment. While your goal is short term, it makes perfect sense to put your money in a savings account. Here's a second tip as well. When you're saving money, ensure that you save your money on an interest-bearing account that is above inflation. What do I mean about that? Guys, remember, the value of 1 Rand today is not the same value of 1 Rand it was last year. 1 Rand last year used to be able to get me a nickness, right? Now in 2023, 1 Rand doesn't get me nickness anymore. I need to add 50 cents more to get nickness because the value of 1 Rand is no longer the same. So now with inflation, your value of the money that you are saving can lose value. So you need to ensure that when you save your money, you pick an interest-bearing account that's above inflation. If the inflation of this country, for example, is 5%, you need to choose a savings account that will offer you interest-bearing accounts that are above 5%. So that you know, as much as you're securing your money also doesn't lose value while it's sitting on the bank, waiting for you to use it to achieve your short-term goal. For example, for myself, I'm a big fan of saving money as well. For example, I'm saving for December holidays because I know in December my family come together, my brothers need shoes and all of that. So what do? I put my money on a savings account. I love using Times Bank to save my money. This is not a promotion for Time Bank, but I love using that because their interest rates are above inflation and I can access my money at any given time, so I can be able to use it for that specific goal I have saving for. Thirdly, as someone that's starting up to invest their money, ladies and gentlemen, it's important to do both. Invest your money to build wealth, but also save your money to secure your investment. What do I mean about that? It's always wise when you start your investment journey to also have what is called an emergency savings account. What is an emergency savings account? Basically, when you start investing your money, you are putting money aside for the future. Meaning you are investing for the next 10 years, 5, 15, 20, you know your investment goal. So now how do you secure and have insurance on your saving, on your investment? Forgive me for that. How do you ensure that you have security for your investment? So for example, if something goes wrong with the family, that you don't run and take money from your investment, but you take money somewhere else, is that when you start investing, you create a savings account that sits for in case of emergency. And for example, if your car breaks down, you don't go to your investment portfolio and take and sell shares to fix your car, but what you do, you go to your savings account and take the money there and go fix your car and repay your savings account later while your investment is not disturbed, because investment is more powerful when you leave it there for the long run. For me, I have my emergency savings account Save with Time Bank to cover a maximum of 3 months of my expenses in there. Meaning, for example, per month my expenses are 5,000. Meaning, when I started investing, I saved up to 15,000 to sit in my savings account with Times Bank, earning interest rate, so that when something goes wrong, I go take money from that Time Bank account and I go fix whatever is wrong in my life and I repay it back to that Times Bank account of mine, savings account of mine, than actually going to Easy Equity or my Shifts app or my Centrix Now app and selling my shares and go fix whatever emergency it is that I have. I use money from my savings account. So when you start investing as well, you need to also create an emergency savings account that will protect you and secure your wealth as a young professional, as someone that wants to create wealth. You don't need to disturb your investment when something goes wrong, but you can go and take money from your saving. So you see why saving and investing work hand in hand. They are powerful tools that can unlock a high level of wealth for you if you use them both wisely. So let's end this conversation of investing versus saving. You do both. You have goals for your savings account, all of them. You have goals and strategies for your investment account, all of them, so you can be able to create the most powerful wealth for yourself within the context of South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't like talking more about this idea of saving versus investing, but today's episode, I just said I want to go deep into this so we can be able to empower and help ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Ivan Sambo, your student investor, and thank you so much for listening. Do ensure to give this podcast a review and give us a feedback on what you think about today's episode. As always, God bless you. I hope the conversation was inspiring and will lead you to take action to build the wealth that you want. As always, let's continue conversation on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or even TikTok. I am Ivan Sambo in all those platforms. Or check out my website, www.ivansambo.co.za. Thank you so much for the support and thank you so much for listening. As always, until next week.